Oh man! Happy Halloween, everybody! It's Halloween, man. This is it. Another wrestling podcast, episode 291. I'm Credo.
I'm JB.
And guys, we have the new ACW Tag Team Champions of the World. The now Vic Dalishus, Hale Collins, guys. Welcome back, man.
Hey, thanks for having us, man.
Yeah, we are happy to be here as champions.
Awesome. With the belts on display, Jonathan. What a way to kick off Halloween, man.
Yeah, I'm going to say, spoiler alert, biggest show ever.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Biggest show ever, guys.
Just don't touch.
Gotta keep them shiny.
Yep.
Keep them shiny for everybody at home.
They are nice.
Over a little bit.
I really honestly feel they're the nicest tag team titles in wrestling.
Yeah, I think so too.
No, guys, it's congratulations, man. Well deserved. It's been a long time coming here for this is the first time winning the tag titles in Poughkeepsie. Am I correct?
Yeah, like talk about burying the lead. That's pretty much the big story for us is that our entire lives we've been pro wrestling fans, and being in the MJN Center, the Mid-Hudson Civic Center as kids, graduating high school there, some of our greatest memories as teenagers watching wrestling, having a chance to be there for House of Hardcore and Northeast Wrestling, and now, there was never an opportunity for us to go for the tag team championships in our hometown. So this was something that we wanted for a very long time, and we thought we were going to get that opportunity to raise them up at the cage match, but that was kind of robbed from us. So we had to, put a little bit more effort in.
Still think about Joel Gertner.
Yeah. Scumbags. But yeah, and we had an opportunity now, ladder match, a match that we've perfected, I think. We've had a ladder match in every decade of our careers, and it was something I'll never forget, the sound when we unhooked those belts from the top of the ladder and finally became tag team champions in Poughkeepsie.
I got a little emotional up there. I was trying to fight it. It was a long time coming.
Yeah.
I felt like a lot of the fans really wanted it to happen. You could see in their eyes they were just like, just grab the titles.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they were. I think some were waiting on someone coming out and messing our moment up, but no, we finally got our moment together.
I did see one of those signs in the crowd that said, "If the Now don't win, we riot." So
perfect.
They have rioted
perfect,
before
yeah.
in the past. They will riot if they feel we are not.
Yeah, as Sent to Slaughter found out, you don't mess with the Now fans in Poughkeepsie.
Well, I think they also found out you don't mess with Miss Dalishus.
Yeah.
So I want to talk a little bit about that. Obviously, it's been very emotional for the Now recently. Sent to Slaughter have not made it easy for you guys personally or professionally. So Miss Dalishus just had enough. Has she spoken to you about this? Was it just spur of the moment? She got caught up in the action. What was that thought process of, and what did you think whenever you saw what had happened?
Well, first of all, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Those guys interrupted our wedding and showed up unannounced, paraded through our reception with tuxedo T-shirts on, and interrupted Hale's best man speech.
Yeah. So disrespectful.
And on her wedding day, it was something that, it was tough to reconcile that actually happened, and they brought this professional wrestling stuff into that part of our life. And you'd think that on that day, this wouldn't be something that we would be talking about at our wedding, but it was. And when we were talking about the match leading up to it, she was steadfast with the fact that she had my back. And she's always in my corner. I have a great support system in her. And I think that when she saw Mr. Chernoff decide to take it upon himself to climb that ladder, she just wasn't going to have it. So we didn't have anybody in our corner. We didn't have anybody that was...
Well, they ruined her moment, so she ruined theirs.
Yeah. I couldn't have been any more proud, honestly. I didn't see what was going on. I had just been smacked in the head 4 times with a trash can and was trying to get my bearings, and all I could do was hear what was happening. And I happened to like look up from the floor with her flexing in my general direction.
Yeah.
And I just kind of like half smiled as I was rolling over trying to stand up, and it was surreal, to be honest with you, because I never in a million years thought that she would get into the ring, and actually it's one thing even being outside of a wrestling ring, but to actually step through the ropes, you're entering the danger zone, if you know what I mean.
Brother.
And she, without any sign of fear or anything, just climbed through the ropes, nailed Josh Chernoff right in the little Chernoffs, and yanked him off the ladder and threw him to the floor. Like, it was pretty epic.
I did hear that Richard Holiday might have... She was watching some videos or something. I don't know, but there was
signature move.
There was
she
a
did her
signature
study.
Yeah, absolutely.
It really was the theme for the night, wasn't it?
Absolutely. And you know what I think, and you touched on it earlier, the emotion that night. There were so many people. Not only your wife was in your corner, but I mean, I'll say the crowd at ACW was fully behind you all, and I think that it's. Again, we were talking a little bit about this earlier, but I feel like that you're a tag team for the people. Like, I was kind of expecting a parade through Poughkeepsie with you guys on it with these titles, and maybe that's something we will get someday. But I definitely, I don't think I've seen it as much as I've seen it with you all. It's we can say grassroots movement or whatever, but you all as the Now have really captured something, and people will follow you no matter where you're at. And I think that that's something that you just don't really see in not only independent wrestling, which whatever, but I think in wrestling as a whole. So kudos to you guys, congratulations, and again, it was just such a special moment for me to see the culmination of all of this hard work and this kind of crappy year that you've had with Sent to Slaughter. So
Well, that means a lot. Like, I had a conversation with Brian Myers, and he's like, we were discussing how like that building means a lot to a lot of people. Like, there's generation fans there, so it's not just like all the new fans. It's like you have grandfathers bringing their sons, whose sons are bringing their kids. So it's like multiple generations. So like we have people come up to our table and we're doing autographs and stuff like that. They're like, hey, here's my son. I'm like, whoa. Wait a second here.
Yep.
I remember when you were a kid, and now you have a son, and they're like, we're here to support you. So like, it was cool. A lot of the fans saying it's so much deserved, because they've seen a lot of opportunities get ripped away from us, and it was cool just giving them their moment, because they've been cheering us on for so long since 2005.
Yeah,
like cheering us on, and every time we almost got a moment, it got ripped away.
Yep.
And they were kind of over it. They were like, if this doesn't happen now, I think I'm just not going to come back. I felt that, and it was cool because it was almost like a relief. It was like, all right, we can breathe. Finally, they got what they deserve.
It's a very unique position to be in, to have the fans follow you on a career journey and being a part of it. The fans of Poughkeepsie have been a part of our journey in the Hudson Valley, not just Poughkeepsie, the Hudson Valley. There's lots of matches that we've had around in this area, and they've followed our journey this whole time. And we're kind of like the hometown kids that everybody, when they say, like, do you know a pro wrestler, they know the Now. They know Vic Dalishus and Hale Collins. And that's, in so many ways, guys, that's so surreal that we're those guys. Because when we were kids, it was Mike Bell and Tony DeVito. Those were the guys that were from Poughkeepsie that were pro wrestlers. And the fact that we've had Tony DeVito now, like, part of ACW, and it's very cool, but also like super surreal, because they've come out and supported us in all of the things that we've done. There's never been a time where I felt like the fans haven't had our back. And even when we were feuding with each other, they were fully ingrained in the entire feud and story of what we were doing, and it's been really cool.
It's funny, Ricky Price,
Yeah,
he was like, my first independent match ever live was in Kingston, and I saw you guys. And I'm like, whoa. I don't know if that's a compliment, but that's cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
I don't want to rain on the parade here, but there's something that happened after the show, which was aired on ACW later on. A little backstage altercation. Can you tell us a little bit about that video? We brought it up on the show last week.
They just won't go away.
I know. I don't know if we have it, but we played it last week for everybody. But can you kind of tell us about this video, because you guys were celebrating backstage? Sent the Slaughter came in. Can you just walk us through maybe some of the stuff that happened backstage and your thoughts about what happened back there after the show?
After we won the titles, Tommy Dreamer came to the ring and gave us his stamp of approval, which was something that was really super cool. For it to be Tommy, to be the one to come out there and kind of raise our arms. He did some kung fu in the pyro, which was super interesting.
It was his first pyro.
Yeah, so
He said it was his first pyro ever.
So I hear.
So he got really excited and started like fighting it.
But we had everybody that was really close to us congratulating us. It's kind of taking that deep breath, like Hale talked about, after the match in the locker room, and then all of a sudden the door just burst open, and Sent to Slaughter came in, and not only did they start yelling and screaming in front of my kids and my wife, but screaming right in Dreamer's face about how he's the reason for this, and he's to be held responsible for it because he's the one that's been our mentor this whole time. And those guys don't have any respect, and it's very clear.
I almost got Josh. I got him by the neck.
Yeah, you were close.
Oh, I was squeezing.
It's very clear they don't have any respect, and it's very clear that they're hell-bent on destroying us personally. It seems that like they will not stop until they make us feel pain in ways that we've probably never felt before, and it kind of supersedes these titles because they want to come at us and go after anybody who is even a fan or a supporter or a mentor of ours, and it just doesn't stop. Like, that's the part that is, kind of frustrating, is that we've been fighting these guys for the better part of 2 years, for the last year in ACW, and we really felt that once we climbed that proverbial mountain, and won the titles and beat them, that they would go away.
Go away.
And it's pretty clear that they're hell-bent on not going away. They're like mosquitoes.
Yeah. Well, and that's what's crazy, too. You see a lot of tag teams that will actually, they'll have some hard-fought battles, and then they shake hands in the middle of the ring. They respect each other. They respect what had happened. But there's none of that. And, we've talked about just the wedding, but you guys, there's children backstage. I watched the show. I thought it was incredible what was done, but there are lines. There have to be lines, right?
Yeah, I hope so.
And I feel like no matter what, there's certain things that are kind of sacred. Weddings being one of them, and if
Hall of Fame inductions.
Absolutely,
Yep.
And families, and I mean, that's why this has been such a crazy feud, and something that you don't see this long term that we're seeing in ACW.
Yeah.
It's not just like, oh, they're fighting them one night and then the next night you don't hear from them again. This has really eked its way into your personal lives, and I mean, I'm happy that you got these and that now you can kind of maybe put this in the rear view for a little bit, hopefully. So.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping, but I don't know what's next. That's the part that's a little bit worrisome, is I don't know what's next. And they've been a little bit quiet for the last few weeks. I've seen Josh on social media a little bit here and there, but it hasn't really nothing.
He's always snooping around.
I fear that they're licking their wounds and will rear their ugly heads at some point. So
I didn't mean to bring the whole show down. Because I mean,
Thanks a
it
lot,
was
Steve.
definitely a moment to happen right after the show that people didn't see what happened. But I want to remind everybody, though, watching out here, you guys can call in. You'll be able to call in and talk to the Now. Ask them any questions you want. We'll see what's going on in a little bit. But Sal, you can let us know whenever we have any callers. But guys, man, we're going to be gearing up for Halloween in a little bit, so we're going to get some Halloween info, maybe some favorite horror movies, some Halloween talk, right?
Sure.
JB came dressed up.
Yes.
I'm saying he's got the whole.
I didn't want to do this right now, but
give you
I'm
a
gonna
of a
try
thumbs up.
here.
Guys,
So
the real secret's here. Orange Cassidy has been with
nailed it.
AWP the whole time.
He's here.
Yeah.
Well done.
It's like you don't put it all the way
Yeah,
up.
it's like
Yep.
Yeah, I have
Impressive.
horrible eyesight, so these are going to have to come off for now. But that is
wrestler
but
by day, podcaster by night.
You talked briefly about. I mean, again, I'm kind of. I don't want to say I'm starstruck. I mean, I've not been in here when we've had the now here, and I have a lot of questions. ACW, incredible promotion. I unfortunately didn't get to go to the Pickasey Rumble this year because I was sick, dying. I don't know, one of the two. But then I have made it to every show since then, and every show seems to just keep delivering more and more and more. And in the beginning, we saw Sent to Slaughter.
But I like what you said at one point. You said people keep coming back.
Yeah.
This is a professional atmosphere. If they didn't like it, they wouldn't come back. And we have guys that are coming back to show, like you said.
Absolutely.
In a previous segment, you were just saying Nick Nemeth's back.
Yeah.
Santana's back.
Absolutely. And what I saw at this last show was some more tag teams jumped on the scene.
Yeah.
And so I'm wanting to know from you all, I mean, obviously champions. So we saw the Audacity. We saw the Righteous, which I know you all are very familiar with.
Yep.
What does this mean for you all to have this crazy competitive tag team division now?
Well, it's cool because I always felt like we were always looking for great tag teams to wrestle, and we have. But also we have an opportunity to give tag teams that never been seen. Him and I are always looking for an opportunity to get on a larger platform. It was just hard to get to. You have to. I hate to say, you have to know someone to get there, or you could have the best skill set, but you might not get there because you don't know who to know. But now, if you're good and you got what it takes, and you make sense in the ring, we're going to put you on.
We're the guys to know.
Yeah.
We're the guys to know. I don't care who you know.
Awesome.
I don't care who hates you. I don't care any of that.
Yeah.
If you're good, you'll get a spot eventually.
Nice.
Yeah. And we've had battles with the Audacity. We wrestled them.
Those guys are great.
Yeah, quite a few different places, and they definitely earned our respect. And the Righteous, we've been in the ring with both of those guys in other versions of them in tag teams.
Yeah.
So we've never wrestled them as the Righteous, but when Dutch was with Dan Barry, Team Tremendous.
Team Tremendous.
Hey guys, we have a caller in. Sorry to break your.
No worries. We had Team Tremendous, and then Vinny and TK Orion in Northeast Wrestling.
Yep.
As the Kingdom.
Yep.
We wrestled those guys plenty of times all over the place, and then now having them.
It's like the powers of both got together and became
Yeah.
a super tag team.
Yeah. So having those guys burst on the scene, it really kind of raises the bar of what you can't just have two tag teams in a division. It has to be a division. So to have other teams competing, Crowbar and Kerr, they've been on a few shows and they were pretty formidable. The FBI, you can't look past those guys either. As
Does Danny Doran count as a tag team wrestler now?
I mean,
again,
he's got a big victory under his belt.
I mean, he's
now.
the
I was going to say, we'll talk about that later. His first win in ACW.
No
So
longer boring Doring.
If you think about it, it's crazy because he is a tag team specialist.
I'm saying, so
He was the last ECW tag team champion,
Yeah,
that's right.
and he gets in the ring with ECW and he wins.
he won.
It could be a sign. Maybe no more singles for him or something.
I just thought of that now. I don't want to deal with Danny Doran.
But Sal, who do we have? You said you have somebody online?
Yep, we got Mary on here. She comes.
Oh, here we go. Mary.
Here she is. You can talk to her.
Hello, am I on?
Hey, Mary, how's
live.
it going?
Oh my gosh,
can't see.
Credo JB, hello.
Full
thank you for taking
disclosure.
my call.
Full disclosure, this is my wonderful wife
being
that is
paid.
calling in.
That's great.
Vic, Hale, congratulations.
Thank
It's
you.
so good to get
Thank
to
you
talk
very
to you.
much.
My question is, you said you grew up as wrestling fans. I wanted to know what tag teams inspired you to, and do you have any tag teams that you like watching that are out now?
super awesome question. Thank you. Demolition, for sure, was a tag team that we watched growing up and were an inspiration to us. We got to meet them not too long ago, a few years ago. We won the Demolition Cup in New Jersey, so that was a pretty big race for us. Yeah. I've loved tag teams that were real tag teams. So the 80s era tag teams where they had matching gear, the Rockers, the Hart Foundation, Demolition, all those guys, they were my inspiration for sure as a kid growing up. And then I think for me, teams that I like watching right now, it's tough because in big time wrestling right now, it's a lot of thrown together guys, and a lot of times it's not necessarily a team with matching stuff and whatever. But a team I have a lot of respect for. I appreciate the Motor City Machine Guns. I think they're an awesome team, and they've done a lot in pro wrestling, and it's really cool to see them get their flowers right now on WWE television. And gimmick wise, I enjoy watching the Wyatt Six. I think they're just an interesting thing, and you don't know what you're going to get when you're in there with them. So they're pretty cool. And on the AEW side, the FTR,
Yep.
they're just so good. I've never seen them have a bad match. I actually saw them do a flip last week on TV, even though they say they don't do flips.
Yep.
And how could you not, as a team, want to fight the Young Bucks? I would love to be in there with the Young Bucks. It would be an amazing match. And, of course, the Hardys right now are on the run of all runs. So they've proven to be probably the best tag team of our generation. So that's just, I don't want to speak for Hale, but that's just for me.
Put myself in my kid body. You know, it have to be the Rockers. I love the Rockers. Watching them was very exciting. They were different. I liked the way they took moves, looked like they died, and I really liked the Hart Foundation. They were really awesome. And Demolition, of course, their music was the best. You could just play their music and be excited. But even Legion of Doom, Hawk was awesome. As a kid, he was just so.
How could you not love the shoulder pads with the spikes?
Yeah, it was just so. But
Hart Foundation, though, man, we got to team up with the Anvil, and you got to be given the pat on the back by Bret the Hitman Hart.
Yeah,
I got put in the sharpshooter. Talk about dream come true with that tag team. We really got to live that up. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, but the tag teams today, FTR, I think they probably are the best tag team right now, to make everything make sense. Yeah. And they could fight anybody, anytime, anywhere, and I think that's awesome. But but there's also good teams on the indies, man. The Graces, they're
the new Backseat Boys.
The new Backseat Boys. Those guys are great. I know Tom is out right now with injury, but those guys are great.
No, man. They're working down with Juggalo Championship Wrestling, too.
Yeah.
Love to see them up here, too.
I saw JP win a championship. He's doing his thing until his brother gets better, But, it's so...
Joe Matarazzo from the Final Countdown saying, bring in the Von Erichs. The Von Erichs...
See, that's cool.
Yeah.
But they got to get matching gear.
Yeah.
All right. So that's a big thing to me. Vic too. Yeah. If you want to be a tag team,
I think we've talked about this before. They got a match. You can't just walk in.
You got to be a unit. Show you're
just because you have the same last name doesn't matter.
Yeah. See the Giants wear different color. One guy wearing a different color than the other. No, it's a team.
Yeah.
You see the Knicks jerseys? They're all the same.
Yep.
When they play. So it's just wear the same stuff. Nothing drives me more crazy than when I see a tag team that's so good. Not match.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know. Are we outdated here?
No, I think we grew up on that, though. I mean, honestly, I just read something the other day about how the Hart Foundation actually got that hot pink. That I guess Bret, they had been wearing the blue and the black and whatever, and they went to the seamstress and said that we want some new color, and she said the only thing I have is this hot pink, and they were like, no, not going to do that. And then went back 2 weeks later, same thing, the only thing I have is this hot pink. He said, okay. And Brett went to Anvil and said, we're doing this hot pink thing. And he was like, there's no way we're doing this. And I guess they put it on, and then Vince walked in and like walked around them, and they didn't know if they were about to get fired or whatever. And he was like, that's it. That's what you were missing. That's your color.
If you look at it, it makes sense because it's like Mr. Perfect
Yep.
not putting the strap on.
Yep.
It's like it's not Mr. Perfect because
Yep.
he puts the strap on. So it's like you look at the Heart Foundation. It's like when they wear the blue, you're like, it's like Hulk Hogan wear a white. It's like I don't. Sometimes colors is just what you need.
Yeah.
But it's
Listen up, all of you.
I don't know.
Would
It's
be
like,
tag
just
teams out there.
match.
Well, tag team wrestling, it's really, it's very important that you're able to communicate.
Yeah.
It's very important that you can be on the same page. Hale and I can finish each other's sentences.
Sandwiches.
We are we are a team, a true team in every sense of the word. And if you guys can't agree on what outfits you're going to wear, then it tells me a lot about how you're going to be in the ring. You're going to be
One knows.
arguing for who's going to get the pin or whose ego is going to win out, who wants the glory, who wants all that stuff. So, ring jackets, I really like having a jacket or matching thing to like come to the ring in. And our first gear was pink and black. So it's right in that line of...
and you know what's a real funny little story there? Yeah. We wore pink and black for our first gear. Then we were going to do a little thing with Jim the Anvil Neidhart. And we're like, we don't want to get heat. Let's change the color to red and black and
Okay,
silver.
all right.
Yeah, but I do respect. But now I look back at it, we should have wore the same color as Jim the Anvil Neidhart. So we all matched and was a unit.
Yep.
Yeah. But
Was Mary still there? Or no, did we lose her? Mary, you there? I don't know if she might have left. I don't know.
oh man.
And I'm going to say this too. So I don't want to speak for Mary, but a new fan. So I've been a fan my whole life. When we first met, I kind of tried to hide it a little bit because
Mary's here.
Okay, Mary's way out of my league, just to be honest with everybody. But she really recently got in, and I'm interested because I want them to hear who like some of your favorite tag teams are, because I think it's very telling of like where
she is as a fan.
Yeah, where she is as a fan. So, Mary, are you still there with us?
What generation?
Mary was there. I think she just
Unbelievable.
left.
She
She doesn't want to hear it.
Well, I will say, so she's a big fan of the Street Profits. So she's a big Bianca fan, but she likes Montez and Dawkins.
Okay.
Which one she like more, Montez or Don?
Montez.
I knew
She's
it.
She's a huge Montez mark for sure. But I think it's neat because, again, like what we're saying, it really is the same. Like they match. They are kind of a cohesive team. It's not just two people thrown
And
together.
like if one doesn't want to wear like a long leg,
Sure.
you can wear a single, but still match.
Yeah.
Like two dudes with attitudes.
Yes. That was a good one. Yeah.
No, it's great because thank Mary though for calling in.
Thanks, Mary.
Guys, if you do want to talk to the Now, you guys can call on to the show.
Absolutely.
You can join us. We're in the chat. We're streaming live on YouTube right now. But once again, another shout out not only to ACW. This is ACW.com, guys. We'll be talking about the Poughkeepsie Rumble coming up on January 3rd. But we have Beacon Podcasting, guys. If you want to start your own podcast like we're doing over here, another wrestling podcast, make sure they check out beaconpodcasting.com, and you can have your own podcast just like us, right? You can't do this alone.
And this is some of the things I've learned since I've been here, but this is what we call a segue. It's not scary to start your own podcast, Steve.
Yeah.
It's the Halloween
Yeah,
show.
that is, yeah.
And so, yeah, come down here. Sal, Anil, all the guys will absolutely come and help you out. And this show and many award-winning shows have been produced here. So big thanks and big shout-out to Beacon Podcasting.
No, I couldn't do without you guys. But, if you guys do want to call in, like I said,
We got Josh on the call right now. He's in. You want to put him in?
Sure. Josh, how's it going, man? Where are you from?
I'm sorry.
Josh Chernoff, everybody.
What a warm welcome.
Hey, man, we didn't know you were calling in. How's it going?
Oh, it's great. You know what? I heard that the Now is going to be celebrating their heist, so I thought maybe I would tune in and see what they had to say.
Sorry,
It's
guys.
been very interesting.
How is it even possible?
It's been incredibly interesting.
Yeah, what's your favorite part, Josh?
Well, my favorite part outside of putting someone else's wife over, I guess it's about time someone has to put someone else's wife over other than me, right? Mrs.
Yeah.
Delicious must pose over my crippled body. It was it was nice. It was
Sounds like
wonderful.
you're butthurt about it.
Oh, no. I'm not butthurt one bit. You know why? Because I figured it out. For a little bit there, I was a little like, was a little upset. I was a little bit flustered. You got me for like a second. But then, as I watched Tommy Dreamer limp his mangled carcass down the aisle, his ego, the only thing bigger than his body, and he comes down there, and I'm thinking to myself, Tommy Dreamer's here to celebrate with the Now. But he wasn't there to celebrate with the Now. He was there to celebrate his master plan coming through. And I heard you talk before when you were going on and on about today's current tag team wrestlers and wrestlers from the past, like we've just moved on from Sent to Slaughter. Like they don't matter at all, longest reigning champions in ACW history. They don't matter at all. Don't sigh. I'm telling the truth here, because here's the problem. Tommy Dreamer, and for everybody at home watching this, I want you to listen to what I'm saying, because they're going to say, Tommy had nothing to do with this. I can't believe they barged into the dressing room. Here's what Tommy Dreamer had to do with this, all right? It's called quid pro quo. Tommy Dreamer goes to them, or should I say they go to Tommy Dreamer when they start ACW, and they say, Tommy, we need your help. And Tommy goes, well, you know, you scratch my back, brother, I'll scratch yours. They say, what do you have in mind, Tommy? And he goes, well, I'll help ACW. I'll wrestle for you. I'll put my ugly mug there on all the posters, and I'll even help you guys become tag team champions.
None of that happened. None of that happened. This is
let me
literally
finish.
all verbal diarrhea.
I'm going to let you guys become tag team champions. Here's my buddy from ECW,
so
Joel Gertner. He's going to help you out, okay? And in turn, you'll make me a Hall of Famer. How about that? And you know what? Kudos to you guys. You made him a Hall of Famer. Unfortunately, Tommy Dreamer didn't factor in me. He didn't factor in Sent to Slaughter. And he didn't factor in the fact that Joel Gertner can get bought off so easily. So what happened? Sent to Slaughter becomes the ACW Tag Team Champions. Well, now Tommy Dreamer is a little upset. So you guys are like, all right, well, Tommy, we're going to make this good, but we don't know how. Because we're Vic and Hale, and we don't understand how to do anything right. So please, Tommy, help us. So Tommy Dreamer goes, I know what we'll do. Kerr and Crowbar. We'll put them in a match with them, a hardcore match. Not an actual wrestling match.
Hey,
a
Sal,
hardcore match.
Sal,
then
I think we're
going to book.
done here.
Then we're going to book.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, are we done? Then we're going to book Sean Donovan on a media day so that Vic can have his way with Danny Moffat, and again, in a hardcore match.
Let him go. Keep going.
Then, on top of that, we're going to have a ladder match because, as Tommy Dreamer knew, Danny Moffat's afraid of ladders. By the way, happy birthday to the God King, Danny Moff. I wish you guys would have mentioned that. That would have meant a lot to us. So anyway, Tommy Dreamer's behind all of this, and then he wants to sit there in your dressing room with a smirk on his face and act like he had nothing to do with this at all. But I'm not stupid. I understand what happened. So go ahead, tell me. Tell me that's not the truth. That's not the case.
You know, my favorite thing, Josh, is your ability to be a revisionist. And you have the ability to be a revisionist in such a sense that you make yourself the martyr and every single situation.
Delusional.
Every single one of the scenarios that you just described is all revisionist history, and it's through a lens of a guy who can't see that you lost in a no rules match, a match that you all agreed to. Okay.
No, we agreed to a ladder match.
Yeah.
And by
And there
agreed,
are
I
no
mean we're
rules of a ladder
contractually
match.
obligated to have a ladder match.
You
Okay.
decided to come to my wedding and interrupt my wedding uninvited.
We've already dealt with that. That's neither here nor there.
No, that
We
is
have already
very
dealt
much
with that.
here nor there, because what happens is that when you have certain actions, Josh, they have consequences. And you, unfortunately, suffered the consequences of your actions. And now you want to go and take the focus off of our championship win and try to put the focus on Tommy Dreamer, a guy who has done nothing but be supportive.
I agree. He's done nothing.
No,
in the last.
Just shut
I agree
up.
with you.
he has been
Shut
supportive
your
of
face.
us. He has been a mentor to us. And I guarantee you, Josh, that these words that are coming out of your mouth will not land gently on the innovator of violence's ears. Because
What's he gonna
I
do?
think that you may have a serious problem with Tommy Dreamer for what you just said about him.
So what's he gonna do? He's gonna limp after me? Is that what he's gonna do? Listen, if this
What
is
would you
Tommy
do if he
Dreamer,
did,
if this is
Josh?
Tommy, well, I guess I'd only have 15 to 20 minutes to run away from him. by the time he would get to me, and that's only if we're in a tiny room. Listen, if this was the 1998 Tommy Dreamer, oh my God, I wouldn't say a word. I'd be as far away from this as I possibly could. I'm not taking anything away from the history of Tommy Dreamer. I'm talking about the guy now, the guy who's riding your coattails, which you don't seem to mind, but he's riding your coattails. That's your moment after you guys stole the tag titles. You're in your hometown, and Tommy Dreamer's music hits. You talk about an ego. Tommy Dreamer comes down there because it's all about Tommy Dreamer. And I'm not saying this to give you a hard time. I'm saying this as a favor to you.
You called in the show to give us a hard time.
No,
Don't say you're
I'm
not
trying
doing
to
this to
educate
give us
you
a
on
hard
what
time.
Tommy
You
Dreamer
just
is.
did this to give us a hard
You're
time.
the worst.
I am
You're
trying
like
to
the nugget that won't
educate you.
flush.
Josh, I appreciate you coming on. I don't think now's the time or the
Cut
place.
this guy off.
But
How is
let's.
now not the time or the place?
We can.
We'll bring him maybe next week.
Yeah.
We'll have you
I
come
cut him
next
off,
week.
guys.
and
I
have
had
him
to
come
Next
on.
week, you have this guy on?
We can have him talk.
This guy should be banned from the show.
And we don't want to get. It's the Halloween show.
I'm sorry, guys.
Wait, next week,
We need to vet our calls a little more. But
Steve. What do you mean next week?
If he wants to say something, I want to be fair to every guest. So if he wants to say something, I'll give him the
He
opportunity.
just said
next
it.
week.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's
what
all
else
he
could
gets.
possibly have to say.
Sure.
Yeah. Always.
I don't want to bring it down. It is Halloween, John. I think we got
Could you guys
there was
block
that
this
was
from
just
happening?
a solid
maybe
clown.
no more callers for the rest of the night,
solid
guys.
clown.
How did I know
Come
that
on.
guy was called?
Hey,
Everything we do,
Everything.
These guys,
How's he
these
know?
guys get.
He
in
gets
it.
he weasels his way in. He's like the new weasel. He just weasels his way in on everything.
well, we got to lighten the mood a little bit, Jonathan. I think, so let me do this. It is Halloween. I didn't get to wear a costume, but I will put my, I'll bring out my Brett glasses.
Okay,
All right, well,
all right.
that softens the mood a little bit.
I can't see now.
I know.
They
Well,
look
signed.
cool.
They're signed.
They are signed.
I signed him
I
before
got
the
them from
show.
Collector's Realm many moons ago. And I still
Whoa,
have them.
collector's row.
And I still have my OGs, which they don't work anymore because they're broken. But these are the original ones that I had as a kid that I just found, like all the stuff's all.
That's amazing, dude.
But it doesn't. It's broken. It's like vintage. It's
They always
all
broke.
of,
So
so I got the original ones that you'd buy at the show, but then they came out with the newer ones, like the pinker ones.
That's fine.
The pink
Pink
ones.
ones.
Well, those are silver. The other ones. Those
Yeah,
are,
the other ones are
dude.
silver, and then these ones, I guess they had them later on. And you could kind of see like the sunglasses in them, like a little. This is my costume. I have no money. I couldn't find a costume. You dressed as.
I did.
Maybe you should get into. Maybe give us some more Orange
Little
Cassidy
orange-
for the fans
well,
out there.
we'll try.
Because guys, it is Halloween.
It
It is
is.
Halloween. Let's lighten the mood a little bit. Let's talk some Halloween
Yes,
stuff,
that guy's
guys.
the worst.
Let's put that aside. You are the champions. We want to save. Let's talk about some stuff here, right? So we talked about some ACW. Let's get into some Halloween stuff.
Sure.
First off the bat, guys, Halloween movies, man. It's Halloween Friday night. What are you watching,
This
man?
is Halloween. This is Halloween.
What are you watching, man?
I haven't got a
What's
chance
the
to
now
see
watching?
Black Phone 2. I don't know if you guys seen that yet, but I really want to see that. This week so far, I watched Nightmare on Elm Street 1, Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Nightmare on Elm Street 4,
Halloween Town.
Halloween Town.
We watched Halloween Town together.
Wait, you guys together?
Yeah,
Or-
just us.
Well, we had our traditional family Halloween party that we do every year.
Nice.
And the movie, because there's kids involved, was Halloween Town.
There you go.
Which, may I add, is horrible. Is a horrible movie. But I don't care what it is. But also, on Thursday night, I'm going to traditionally watch The Crow.
Yes.
I only watch that once a year, every 30th, because the
New
movie's
Crow?
based
Did you
on
see the
this
New Crow? Did you see that?
I would never give that a chance.
No, never know. I didn't see it.
I mean, no disrespect to the actor, but I mean, come on.
Yeah.
the original. Can't beat the original.
Can't be the original.
Hale is a horror movie aficionado. I'm not sure if you know this or not, but
I'm well aware. I've seen Hale at a few horror movie conventions.
he has a room of death in his house.
That's so. You're probably the only one that's going to appreciate this, but I let Steven on the secret. But I was invited to Ice from Hocus Pocus's wedding, and I went 2 weeks ago in Salem, Massachusetts.
Oh, that's cool.
And he got married to his now wonderful wife, and some of the other.
Well, they
cast
danced there, the hall, whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah,
It's like
so-
6 degrees separation, but for you, for Hocus Pocus, like
Yes.
Ice was in the
Yes. No. Absolutely. So
How do you know ice? Where'd that come from?
So again, a very random. I was at a convention, started talking, and I was hoping to try to get them to come like closer because they
Which
usually
one
do
is?
the one.
I'm sorry. Which one is ice?
So Ice is the one that carves it. He has like ice carved in the back
Not
of
the
his.
not the Ed Gein.
No, yeah, that's Tobias. That's Jay in the
Okay.
movie, and then the other one says I'm Ice. Yeah, that's
Okay, yeah.
Ernie.
Nice.
But yeah, so huge fan, super nice guy. I met him, and another kind of local horror icon is Michael Williams from Blair Witch, and he lives in Westchester County.
Do you remember when the Blair Witch?
Really
came out?
awesome.
I remember.
Everyone thought it was real.
Yep.
And,
Yes.
and everyone thought it was real until they went on MTV to accept an award or give
Yeah.
an award. And I was hooked with that. If you watch that to this day, I brought it back recently. I haven't watched it in 20 years. It still gives you the feeling.
Oh,
the
absolutely.
My
hair on
eyes
the
are
back of the neck.
burning, man. I don't know what the I'll go to the Macho Man glasses. Hold on. I don't know what is on those. I had them for so many years, probably collecting dust, and I can't see them. Anyway,
Asbestos in the eyes.
You're looking like the Macho.
I went from
there.
Hitman to Macho
It's
Man.
Mr. Fuji getting back at it.
I know.
Back at the-
So sorry, I had a break. That was just, I couldn't sit there anymore with that. Anyway,
Have you seen the Poughkeepsie tapes?
Yes.
So that's very much in the Blair Witch
Okay.
genre of documentary style
The tough
horror
thing-
movies.
The tough thing about Poughkeepsie tapes, it was hard to get.
Yeah.
It was very
still hard to get.
When it came out, it was very hard to find.
Yeah.
Because that's what made it even more cool.
yeah.
But
awesome.
Yeah, but do you guys remember when Blair Witch came out though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I saw it in the
Everyone-
theater.
Yeah.
It was really scary.
Someone threw up in my theater.
Really?
From I don't know if it was from the motion or just like they were scared, but like they had to stop the movie.
when he was standing in the corner at the end.
Oh, my
man,
God.
that was
Yeah.
creepy.
Spoiler, apparently you can see the Blair Witch. She's in the movie. Apparently she's some old lady they interview at one point, and they don't have she's just, I don't remember. I haven't seen it in 20 years, but apparently she's in it. I just read some article on Facebook or
interesting.
something. So she's in the
Spoiler
movie.
alert.
She's like a witch. She's an old lady in the movie. If that rings a bell to anybody, but
Does the boat hit the
they interview her.
iceberg?
And she doesn't know where she is, and she's confused, and that's it. They don't go much into it, but apparently that was the Blair Witch.
Now I gotta rewatch.
Apparently that's what the internet says. So.
I don't know, with the horror movies, because I'm a bit of a wuss when it comes to the horror movies. I don't like that feeling that you get where you're when you're really scared. I don't enjoy haunted houses or haunted anything. That's not my favorite thing in the world. I liked The Ring. I thought The Ring was a good scary movie. A little bit of suspense there, a little thing like that. When I was growing up, I was terrified of It, the original It.
Yep.
The first scene in the movie when he yanks the kid through the sewer. It had me so terrified.
The thing I love about horror movies is I don't know, my mom was young. She's in her early 30s. My dad was always working. So when she would rent movies. If back in the late 80s, early 80s, you didn't know what you were renting.
Yep.
Rated R, you weren't really educated what rated R meant.
You just went for off the box cover. And that's
You just
it.
went
You
for
didn't know
when the
anything.
hit movie was out, so she would rent the movie. We would watch it. All of a sudden, I'm watching Nightmare on Elm Street at age of 5. I'm watching Friday the 13th at age of 6. And it just went on and went on. And then it didn't really affect me. But now when I watch those movies, it's it brings me back to a happy time, as weird as that is. So I just have.
How old were you when you saw Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
The original, I didn't see that until I was 11.
Oh, okay.
1974 version.
Yeah.
But that didn't hit me as hard as watching. You watch Nightmare on Elm Street 4, for example.
Yep.
The 80s music. It's cool.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, Lost Boys, it's not really horror, but it's more cult horror. But, Lost Boys, that soundtrack is amazing.
I love
remember
Monster Squad. Monster Squad is good.
Monster Squad was great.
Monster Squad's great.
When I lived in different places in my after college and stuff. I lived in Kentucky and Florida and a little, but I moved back up here to start teaming with Hale. And the Halloween of the year that I moved back up here, he invited me over to a friend's house because he's like, "Oh, you got to come see what we do on Halloween," and they have a whole Halloween thing going on. He is Leatherface. chasing people around neighborhoods with an actual chainsaw.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know, 'cause when you hit like 12, you can't really go trick or treating.
Sure.
So you gotta find an alternative. Like, still love the holiday. So at my aunt's, like, she was like, "Oh, well," I'm like, "Hey, my psycho cousin was like, let's do a haunted house," and like I got really obsessed when I put the mask on. I like became Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yes, there was no talking to you.
Yeah, and I would never break character, and I would chase kids up the road.
Yeah.
In Hyde Park at Greenfield, and for the whole length, and then I look back at it because I have a 7-year-old now, and I would kill the guy that would do that to my child. I remember one time this little
Brad.
brat,
Yeah.
he was doing the DX chops on top of the hill, not afraid of me, flipping me off. I'm like, okay, so I shut the chainsaw off. I walk around the house in the dark. He's like, oh, he's gone.
Oh, God.
And my aunt's like, come on, it's okay, he's gone. Come on. He's like, I'm not afraid anyway. So he walks up to the front door. I circle back, and like he's like getting his little candy, his little fat fingers in a little candy box. And so then I get
You guys hearing this?
And that was
True
Steve. And that was you, wasn't it?
I get right behind him, and the door shuts and screen doors in front. My aunt's like, oh, and I'm right behind, like a foot behind him, and I rev that chainsaw, and it's like the loudest possible. I used to do the squeal because like Leatherface would do a squeal, like would do as loud as possible. It was like, I think the squeal was scarier than the chainsaw. This kid turned around, flew through the screen. Fell down the stairs because it was a raised ranch. Fell down the stairs, and my aunt was so horrified. She thought she was going to get a lawsuit. And then the dad of the kid on top of the hill was cheering it on. He's like, yeah, that's what he gets. He should have been scared since he saw you. And like, I just terrified kids. I really loved them. But now I got,
You really embraced the role, man. Like, I got to tell you. Like,
yeah, I got voted for like top, Leatherface in 25 years at this one haunted house.
Now it's like that's like the rage. Like there's like these actors who do like Halloween Horror Nights and even like at the haunted hayrides or the haunted mansions or all of those things. Like that's like character work. These people they're very
truly
into
enjoyed it.
that.
Yep.
I loved it.
I could see that being something you do one more time before you hang a chainsaw.
I would not care what age they were either. They would be like 3 years old. And then like at one point in my life, they were like I remember I was working out like Planet Fitness. I was like 20 years old, and and one of the workers goes, "Man, you from here?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Over this place, man. I remember this guy scared me half to death as a chainsaw guy." I couldn't believe it. So I was acting like I didn't know what the hell he was talking about. He goes, "Yeah, man. Like that guy was nuts."
There was one time Hale and I were in an elevator with the Lost Boys. And Hale,
All of them?
All of them.
yeah, all of them.
Wow.
It was awesome.
Wow.
Like,
2007, I think it was.
we get in the elevator and I didn't know who anybody was, and he's freaking out. He's like, do you know who this is?
And this is like 2007, so like the Lost Boys came out like 19 years earlier.
Yeah.
So it was still kind of cool. Plus, they still looked cool. They looked like rock stars at the time. So I'm like, it was surreal because like it was before I really met anyone famous, really, not famous to me anyway.
Yeah.
And they turned out to be really cool with us. They hung out with us. They drank with us. We were like in their video.
Yep.
And it was like just a cool experience.
It was pretty epic at the time. Once I realized, like, because I had seen the Lost Boys, but it wasn't one of those movies that stuck with me.
Yeah.
It was just, yeah, I've seen it, whatever. But then we're in the elevator with them. We would go to a horror thing,
Monster Mania.
convention thing, and like we met some of the. That's where we got the first time we got to hang out with Roddy Piper. was that this thing he was doing stand up there, and
wow.
he said that we were his tag team.
Yeah, well, what happened was like he was at the bar.
Yeah.
And Piper, and like, so I go to Vic, I'm like, "Yo, dude, Piper's at the bar. We gotta go do a shot with him."
Yeah.
So like we go over there, and the bartender's not even helping us. So I'm like, "God, this I'm not really." He goes, "Hey, Piper, you want to do a shot?" He's like, "Yeah, but I gotta go. I got a comedy show. I gotta go." So I'm like, "That's it." So I went behind the bar, grabbed the bottle of Jack, put the Jack in the shots, and we all took a big shot of Jack, and we were like celebrating, and I got kicked out.
Yeah.
We all got kicked out. They kicked out Piper too for the bar.
Yeah, but it was epic.
Yeah, so we all got kicked out
That's an
for
awesome
going behind the bar. So then we got the comedy show. He invites us to the comedy show in the front row. And he stops his skit. He goes, "These two guys are crazy mother effers."
We earned our points at that point.
Yeah. Then we got to see him on so many shows after that. So he was like, I,
That was our first meeting, though, and it actually set off like a really cool friendship with him. Like every time we'd see him, he remembered all that stuff.
He would say, "Hug us first
from a horror convention."
Yeah. And then one time, like after years go by, I go to Roddy Piper. I'm like, "Yo, Piper, we never did the shirt trade. So like, you never want to buy a wrestler's shirt. You it's like you trade a shirt. So like, we never did the shirt trade, and Piper's like, I don't got any more. So he goes out there, wrestles, and this time he's a little soft, so he wrestles the shirt on, and I'm like standing there. He comes walking through the back in the locker room. He goes, "Oh man!" He takes off his shirt, throws me it. He goes, "Just take that one."
My God,
which couldn't.
Yeah,
that's the best way you can get a shirt, right?
Yeah,
I framed it, like a fan. Like I framed it. It's like all cool in my horror room.
We met Robert Englund. We met the guys that played Jason, and then the other random one was Gary Busey.
Oh my
Remember
God.
that, man? Like, start speaking to you in acronyms. It was so interesting. But those are, if anybody ever gets a chance to go to those things, you know conventions very well. Like, like the opportunity to like meet these people, and like once people found out we were wrestlers, like then it was like we're trading stories back and forth, and we got to like meet all these people in this genre that for me, comedy movies are my favorite genre of movies, but Hale loves horror movies. So we were like accepted amongst this group of people to be in their like their clique kind of thing.
And it's cool to be a part of because they're all cool personalities when you go there.
Absolutely.
Like I remember one time we were hanging out with like the Hells Angels. Like randomly, like just hang out with them. They accepted us because we were a couple of people there, But like crazy things, man.
No, that's awesome. Well, it is Halloween, guys. We talked about some spooky things that you're doing, but there's also some spooky things that have happened in pro wrestling. We got some videos we'll probably play for this one. But do you guys, we're going to bring up some stuff. We're going to talk about it. I want to try to get your firsthand accounts of some of these moments throughout our childhood and just throughout. I got
a good one for you though before you go and tell all the stories. But the Boogeyman,
yes,
the Boogeyman in WWE. The reason he has no front teeth, on my head.
Really?
He lost his teeth.
He lost his teeth on my head. I wrestled the Boogeyman down in Ohio Valley Wrestling, and we were doing a tryout for the writers for WWE. And it was a chance for people to show off their characters and things like that. And the Boogeyman was just like very fresh. And it was the first time he smashed the clock on his head was in front of like these writers and everybody, in front of no people. And he used a real clock. He had glass stuck in him and everything. But the ending of the match was I came off the top rope, and he goes to grab me by the throat because his finish was pick you up by the throat and powerbomb you. I come off the top rope, and it's very apparent as I'm flying through the air that he's a little bit loopy and is not going to be grabbing me by the throat as I'm flying through the air. And we hit heads. And it was the very first time that I'd ever been like busted open for real in the ring. I'm laying on the ground, and I feel my entire face just get hot. And I feel the blood all down my face. And I look up at him, and his teeth are out of his mouth. He has no teeth. And he had a match a week before with Danny Inferno and actually had loosened his teeth, and I finished the job. But right here on my head, I have a scar, and I had 10 stitches right in the front of my head here from the Boogeyman. So there's a character on WWE TV that he subsequently would go on to eat worms, and that iconic no teeth look was one of the things that made him the Boogeyman. And the reason his teeth fell out of his head was from me.
Thanks to your head.
A solid claim to fame right there.
As you can see, we're playing some clips. We got some Boogeyman stuff happening here.
Carson Palmer from the network there. Shout out.
Oh, wow.
But, what a weird character. Not a weird, but it's like, man, to go out there and eat worms all the time or just like to spit them at people.
There's the no teeth.
I mean, you really have to really love that gimmick.
The Boogeyman had no interest in being a great wrestler. From the moment he came to Ohio Valley Wrestling and everything, he wanted to be a character.
Well, wasn't he on Tough Enough?
Yes.
Yeah.
And like they kind of like said he was too old.
Yes.
And then he came out. Then like this happened, and like it didn't matter what age he was.
He was in Any Given Sunday too. I don't know if you watched that football movie, but what's interesting about him is that gimmick, if you will, that he had there. you're absolutely correct. Like, it didn't lend itself to be a great wrestler. He wasn't a steamboat, right?
No, it didn't have to be.
But even with what that was, I still think it had much more longevity than any. I didn't think it was going to be around that long. Like, you know, like we know nowadays, like less is more. But he came out, and there was the little boogie that he had for a while, all that stuff. But I mean, still to this day, if he comes on, like, he gets a big pop. Like, he's a big guy. So, yeah.
Well, he looks the same.
Yes.
That was 20 years ago.
He reminds me of like an R-Truth. Like,
he's just
might be older, but he's still in incredible shape.
like Billy Gunn. Like, it's just guys don't just age really well.
And I've never met anybody who has a negative word to say about him as a person, a human being outside of the Boogeyman version
Wow,
himself.
what makes him switch to the Boogeyman?
Well, remember he would show up. He did a couple of independent shows that we were on, and he would show up with a black mask on.
Yes.
From the moment he arrived at the show, like literally in the parking lot, a mask that covering his face, so you never saw him without Boogeyman paint on.
He's always in
That's
shape.
awesome.
Never
always
has a
looked
bad
great.
day.
I was at Evansville, Indiana. I know you're familiar because of OVW, but that's where I used to go watch house shows. And it was around WrestleMania 23 because he was feuding with, I think, Finlay at the time or whatever. But he came out and he did his thing and he was flinging earthworms. And I was like second row. And so I grabbed one out. And my cousin was there, and I think it's somewhere on social media. But I held it up like I was going to eat it, and the entire crowd, because this is what I love about house shows, eat the worm, eat the worm. And I did not, but that's my Boogeyman story. But yeah, he was great, and again, like very scary. I mean, I could see kids getting freaked out by Boogeyman.
No, it's definitely a Halloween-ish character, right? You know, it's something to bring out all the time. But I have to go back to this moment. It was when Jake the Snake Roberts brought out the Cobra for Macho Man.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And, you know, watching this as a kid, man, I don't know about you guys. I remember watching this, and it was like one of those moments as a kid where, like, you're seeing it and, like, you just know that it's real. And, like, you just don't know how you feel about it. Because it was like...
Could it be any more real?
I know. It couldn't get it more... And, you
The
know,
best is what
should
Jake
I be
the
watching
Snake-
this?
Remember that Jake was looking at the Cobra eye to eye?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was, like, so amazing.
But that whole feud was something that I felt like when I was a kid that I didn't really realize what was going on, but that was a long term from SummerSlam, like that whole
they were able
wedding
to stretch
thing,
it out
like,
because the pay-per-views are so spaced.
Yeah.
So you got like long-term storyline like in between pay-per-views.
And it was just, but like, you know, as a kid, I forget exactly. I mean, it was around like probably 91, I think, something like that. But whatever. I was young enough that I was pretty freaked out by it because, you know, I can watch a movie, Terminator, whatever, and kind of separate and be like, that's not real.
Was real.
But that right there,
Yeah.
I mean, that was so real to me. And when the snake's trying to get free from his arm, and it's
He's
just
shaking it
stuck
off.
in there, I was,
They handled that really well.
yeah, oh yeah.
Like,
I would have not had.
I don't know who said it. I think it was Jake that told the story, but we also were friends with Lanny Poffo, a good friend of the show before he passed away. And I remember him talking about it a little bit, but I remember also just Jake talking about it, where he was like Macho Man before the show wanted the snake to bite him first before they
because he didn't believe it was venomous.
Yeah, so they're like, he did like the Macho Man impression, and he was like, you let it bite you first, or whatever, you know, like, and so like before they even did that stunt, like he wanted to make sure that it was devenomized or
But
whatever.
with Elizabeth crying and stuff,
Yeah.
like it was like
That was a shock. It was a shock for WWE at that time because you're so used to the friendly stuff, and showing this is kind of graphic. I know it's not like
They still haven't shown something like this.
Yeah.
Well, he Macho got sick afterwards. He like legitimately was sick for a few days afterwards from
The trauma.
just the bacteria of the snake biting into him. I've had the dubious honor of showing my children this and watching their reaction, and it's as if when I was a kid. Watching. Well, of course I showed it to them.
I think my mom showed me Nightmare on Elm Street.
They're like
Trick or treat kids. Oh, they censored it. Yeah, they censored it now. But back in the day, kids, it was all
quiet in the room as they're watching it. They're just like,
So
he's really biting him. He's really biting him. Like, that's crazy. The other Jake the Snake moment that scared me as a kid was when Earthquake squashed Damien.
yes,
And then wore the snake skin
that was really
boots.
something
snake
else.
burgers.
Yeah, snake burgers.
That was nuts.
I was I mean, it was 1990. I was little, but I was like,
It's another traumatic moment.
Yeah.
I wrote letters to WWF at the time, like to Jake and like all that stuff. Like I was hooked there, and then to have, because that's how the Cobra subsequently came about, was that whole like long-term turn by Jake.
No, but it's these moments, man. Like it's these moments as pro wrestling fans that it's that reality threshold. It's like, what am I watching? And then you can't even you can't question yourself, because like as a kid you're like, I shouldn't be watching this. What am I watching? Why am I allowed to watch this right now? And you get lost into like what is happening right now. And
I got one.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you remember, but Papa Shango.
Yeah.
Man of many.
You got to talk to him about Papa Shango too.
When he made Warrior puke?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was messed up.
And the
black
stuff
goo
coming
from
down his face. And people can talk all they want about Warrior, but that was the time that I saw him, I think, the best he was, because he was really like, he would touch his face and then
it was awesome.
Oh my God.
Yep.
That was
I believed it.
Oh yeah. Same
Just
thing.
like when I believed when Warrior got locked in the casket, I thought he died.
Yeah.
Super scary right there too. When trust me, Warrior.
Yes.
Trust me.
Yeah, nice.
Yep.
And I mean, I remember we had one. You guys up
How
here.
do you have this queued up? Is this on a list somewhere?
No, this is
what we do, brother.
This is incredible. I was so impressed.
So we had a hometown. It was called Hometown Video. So you could go and rent like WrestleMania or SummerSlam, Survivor Series, whatever. And I would have these on, and my family, who didn't really watch wrestling, would walk in, and on moments like this, they would stop to like watch and see what was going on. And I was like, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. It's not just what you think it is. It's
lucky for you, they always walk in when it's like it was a Braun panty match from like, I'm like, oh great, what are you watching? This is wrestling. Well, how to explain my way out of it? Anyway, but no, this was just like shocking as a kid, and I feel like kids today don't understand it, because I feel like they don't do anything. Well, they've done a lot of crazy stuff now, but I mean, this was crazy back in the day for itself,
throwing up on.
How did Hogan throw the Giant off of Cobo Hall?
That's a great question.
How did he do that?
That's a great question. I don't know.
I just happened to watch it the other day.
Yes.
It came up, and I was like, how did they do this?
Yes.
Like they were on top of the building.
Yes.
And he's on the edge of it.
And then
I remember telling my dad, I'm like, I'm pretty sure Hulk Hogan just killed the Giant.
On live TV, he murdered somebody.
Like he fell off the building.
Yeah.
I don't.
No, that's one of wrestling's little mysteries.
Like, what could be under there? Like, it's not like a movie. Like a helicopter doesn't catch the Giant. He's
weird.
He's 7'4" and 500 pounds. Like, he's not just gonna land eloquently on his feet. Like, how did they do that? How did they do it?
Yeah,
wild.
We're gonna next time we see. I guess the Giant's the only one that has that answer right now.
Yeah, true.
Well, okay, so skip ahead a few years though, because now when Bray Wyatt brought out the Fiend, what did you got? What was your first impression? Because you're a horror fan. I know we got the Wyatt 6 going right now, but before he passed away, when he had this Fiend character, I mean, the dude went from Husky Harris to like the way he went from just NXT, or was it? It was NXT.
FCW
it was,
at the time.
It was FCW into NXT. Then they had to do the little like dragging a keg around the ring, and it was like a game on Raw or whatever it was. But for him to transform himself into like this kind of a character and just become like Bray Wyatt, do you guys have any Bray Wyatt stories? Maybe have you ever seen him working down there, or just what did you, as a horror fan, what did you think about what he did with the Fiend? And just like it's a crazy character to go from that one horror aspect to like do the funhouse thing, and it was just kind of like, I don't know. What did you guys think about that?
I thought it was beyond creative.
Yeah, I think you knew you were watching something special.
Yeah, like he was like, even his promo when it was like in Nexus, when he was like but his promo was like a limousine. No, it was what would you say? A Lamborghini and a Lamborghini engine and a
tank or whatever.
I don't want to disrespect it by not getting it right, but it was like it was so. That's what I knew. Like, this guy's creative. It's a cool thing because he was fast. But heavier.
I was super hooked from the
version of him being his the Raw debut, I believe that was.
Well, like the Fiend is like the progressed version of that character, but the Waylon Mercy version of him,
Waylon Mercy,
when he was in the rocking chair.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah,
with that music and all of it, where he's prophesizing it from the rocking chair, and like you got the other guys kind of like with the pig mask and. Kind of all milling around doing this stuff, and you're wondering, what is this? What is this? And then to make it eventually go that further length to the supernatural version of a character, which is like the part of wrestling which makes it so cool, where you're able to suspend disbelief and not have to like focus on whether or not this could be real or not. The Fiend, I just felt it was something special. You just knew it was something special when you're watching it, and like when he got released, it was almost one of those times where it was like kind of baffling. Like, why? How could they not figure out what to do with this? Yeah. It seems like there's, whether or not he's wrestling in matches. I mean, he's a former world heavyweight champion. Like, how do you not find a spot and a place for that guy in that? And the match he had with John Cena, the cinematic match during the pandemic, was just like, it's if you go back and watch it, it's really perfect.
Yeah,
it's honestly perfect.
Yep.
Because there's so much story there and character stuff where you can just you find every part of it super intriguing, and you're just into it all the way. And that mask, as soon as you see it, if you know wrestling or anything, you just think people are going to buy that. People are going to want that. Then they made it like a Leatherface version of a championship belt.
Yes.
Like that. It's so awesome. Like how could it not be? And to where we're at now, where there's the Firefly Funhouse at Universal Studios, like that's just the best.
Yeah.
I think that tells you everything you need to know about the character all the way, is that he was able to create something just so special as a character that transcends WWE. It's to have it be in Universal Studios now and have that, because have you seen the walkthroughs of the Firefly Funhouse? And it really touches on all the aspects of like the Wyatt Six, but also the Fiend and the Bray Wyatt character. And there's a little shout out to Brody Lee in there. There's a little shout out to all versions of everybody who was in the Wyatt family. It's all in there. And it's super epic, and we're going to be talking about it for the next 20 years.
Yep. Because
it's that good. And the Wyatt Six is just an extension of it, but it's still good. Like I'm a fan of it. That it's not, when you watch it, you're not looking for like the Brain Busters kind of a match. Like, I'm not watching it for that. I'm watching for like all of a sudden when the lights go out and then they appear, and like I like that stuff.
Yep.
I don't like it all the time.
Nope.
And I don't want it to be in every segment of the show, but every so often you just give me a little bit of the supernatural stuff, or like, how did they do that? And I'm into it. I'm super into it.
I remember, and it's funny because you were talking about his Wyatt and the rocking chair and all that stuff, and I remember sending those clips from like FCW, NXT or whatever.
Yeah.
I moved up here, and all my friends that were wrestling fans back home, like I would be texting them those clips, specifically just say, look at this guy. Like, have you guys seen this yet? Have you seen that? Because it was different then. It was not, I'm going to come to you and I'm going to knock you out and all that. Yeah. It was like, it was psychological. It was, and similar to Warrior, like you didn't always understand what he was saying, but there was a tone to it that made you think, this is different. This is special. And
I like man. I loved when it was kind of like the passing of the torch from Undertaker to him, and I was like, this is what's needed, because you get to have the Undertaker right off into the sunset, kind of have Bray take that mantle and go on with it, and then for him to pass away, it was it was a tragedy, for everything that he's ever done, and to get to that place, right? Yeah. But I have a question too, where, I mean, when the Wyatt Six came out, what were your thoughts on that? Because I think we were all hyped for it. Then they kind of went away for a little bit because I think from injury or other little things have happened. They coming back to have the tag team championships they had on their team. Yep. Still, I feel like they're still trying to find their footing, if you will. But how do you feel about how his brother's doing? I guess with the whole, the character now.
Uncle Howdy thing it's cool. I'm into it all the way, because I think there's so much that can be done with it. Everybody in the group can wrestle. Yeah. That's the cool part about it. Like Dexter Lumis can wrestle, Joey Gacy can wrestle. Eric Rowan is just a big, mean, nasty dude, and he brings to the table the big, mean, nasty dude stuff. And
original.
Yeah, like there's so much that can be done with it. I think for the next 10 years you could have little parts of that story be told and introduce maybe even a new character to it, and who they get involved with, and who they play games with, and whether or not they're good guys or bad guys. And I think there's a place for that kind of a character all of the time in WWE. Maybe it's not always going to be the Wyatt Six, but there should always be this thing that's kind of suspends your disbelief a little bit. Like, sure. I'm very into when all of a sudden people just appear out of nowhere. I think that's so cool. Like, and those guys, like, they'll all of a sudden just show up and they'll be surrounding the ring. And the Wyatt Six, when it first started, those videos that they would do, the vignettes where they would just like all of a sudden take over the TV and it would pop up, and it was like kind of like The Ring. You're like a videotape was playing and somebody had found it in a closet somewhere and they throw it in the tape player. Like, what is this? And it's like, I think all that stuff has its place in pro wrestling, and it's super creative. It allows you to forget that you're even watching some wrestling for a little bit, and you're seeing something totally different.
So Hale Collins, Victor Dalishus, guys. Let me bring you back to this moment, because this was, I think, a shocker as a young Mark. Mankind being thrown off the Hell in a Cell by the Undertaker in '98. I remember watching this live. Guys, this was scary, because now not only did I witness all this other stuff from one wrestler being bitten by a snake, or Papa Shango getting the Ultimate Warrior sick, but now I feel like I witnessed a murder live on TV and I don't know what to do. And I'm like, I paid $49.99 for this, and I'm like, oh my God, did I just witness somebody die tonight? And Mankind, Mick Foley, bro, to survive this, man, like literally, he could have easily died that night. And for them to continue this, guys, I mean,
the biggest thing was when he got chokeslam off the top, through the cage onto that mat.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like laying out cement, that high up.
I was a fan of Mick Foley from WCW years. I actually, even before that, when he would be in the Global Wrestling Federation as Cactus Jack, and then went to WCW and had those matches with Vader where he got powerbombed on the floor, he had amnesia. Then he teamed up with Max Payne and against the Nasty Boys, where they had this crazy brawl. Like, I remember him getting hit in the head with a shovel and thinking, like, how does this guy survive this stuff? He had his ear ripped off in Germany from doing the head through the ropes thing, and I was always a fan of him. Always. I was very...
I didn't really know anything about him, because the only thing I knew about him was what I read in PW Insider.
Yep.
Because I didn't have WCW, I didn't have TBS, so like I didn't get that network. That's why I'm a WWE guy. You know, like growing up as a kid. But like, I read about. I knew he was serious about like all the stuff he done. I knew who he was when he became Mankind. So seeing him do all that stuff is just amazing. Like, and like, the word has he never took any painkillers or any of that stuff. So like, he's just one of those people that like, like kind of like Darby Allin. These guys.
And it was like, I feel like
crashes.
And even for Foley, I mean, back then, to where he's not the most in shape guy, right? He's not ripped or anything, so it's almost like he has to do this to kind of prove his worth in a way, right? So he ain't going out there to showboat, look at my body. Like, he's going out there to be like, look at my body.
Do you remember the promo he did?
Go through this.
Remember the promo he did when he was like, he wanted to be the Shawn Michaels. That's what he wanted to be.
Yeah.
You cut to the old videotapes of him being like 16, 17, saying that he was the dude. That's how Dude Love got created. But like, he couldn't do it. Because he didn't have the Shawn Michaels thing.
Yeah, when Shawn Michaels said, "Is this what you always wanted to be?" And he's like, "Actually, I wanted to be you."
Yeah, it was so good, man. Like,
the thing that always stuck with me about one of the things that Mick Foley said was that he couldn't jump very high, so he would jump from high places.
I was just gonna say that, man. I used to be like one of my AIM way messages or whatever. Too. I love that. And, that's exactly who he was. To where if he can't do it that way, he's gonna do it his way, and like
And I think that Hell in a Cell moment was really when we started to go from the idea of Mankind to more Mick Foley. But those promos when Mick Foley or when Mankind first came into WWE,
with Jim Ross and stuff.
Oh my God! And like he'd stab himself in the leg and he'd rip his hair out and they'd show his ear. But one of the cool pieces of wrestling lore out there is the fact that I think maybe to this day, I don't know, but he was one of the only people that had an intro music and an outro music,
that's right, yeah.
which is just like, again, that sort of nuance,
good.
that idea of like, getting inside people's heads and stuff. But I think like Mankind's work, the Cactus Clothesline is probably one of my favorite like moves of all time, and I just really,
Beyond the Mat.
Yes.
And the getting handcuffed and being smashed in the head with the chair by the Rock. It was that was another one of those moments where you're just like, you had sympathy for him.
Yep.
But then when you watch Beyond the Mat, you know that his family is there watching this brutality. It was like,
And I took 2 chair shots at Danny Moff. Yo.
Yeah.
Chair shots are no joke.
It's not a joke.
Like,
man.
I love it. Like the fans think the chairs are fake.
Yeah.
They're not.
No.
Yo, when Danny Moff hits me with that chair, I tell you, it's hard to get back up. Like it just stings your whole body. You think you might have popped a kidney or something, and it's just excruciating pain. So to think how he got all those chair shots to the head, repeatedly.
With his hands tied behind his back.
You just gotta take it, but man, you're gonna take some time to recover.
I know you're probably going to ask, why am I getting my eyes burn again from these things? I do have to bring up our last little scary moments, and you're probably wondering what it is, Jonathan, but I had to bring these back up.
Honky Tonk Man's
Brett screwed Brett.
It is. I have to bring up the Montreal screw job. And now we're wondering why. That's not a scary moment. I'll tell you what, it was a scary moment for a Bret Hart fan, because not only did you not know what was going to happen at the end of that night, because we all watched it knowing that something's going to happen, because we all heard the rumors that someone's leaving, something's going to happen. And to see this moment happen, it was one of those moments that it was like what you're watching on TV was real. Like
I watched it in person. I was there.
You were there.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's man.
I wasn't watching it on TV. I was in the building.
Wow.
Like for me watching it, man. I mean, it was one of those things to where wrestling just became even more real again now, because it's like this happened because like at the time I don't know how old I was, maybe 12ish, I don't remember, but you're like at that age where you're starting to figure things out a little bit more than like what it was as a younger kid, and you're like you kind of understand what wrestling was at that time, and for this to see this happening, it was like a surreal moment. It wasn't Mankind being thrown off the cage, but it was a moment that like what I just witnessed was somebody getting screwed out of like a contract or something, something legit just happened and I don't know what I witnessed. Yeah. So it's one of those shocking moments, I feel like, as to add to the little Halloween aspect of the show. But I mean, you were there. What was the crowd like? I mean, do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember it very well. The energy in the building was insane because, like you said, the rumors had spread that this was going to be his last match there. And everybody in the building knew it.
Which is amazing, by the way, because there was no internet.
No, there was like
so this is like word to mouth,
like what it is today. Yeah,
like it was just so interesting.
Yeah.
and it was just a really awesome time to be a fan.
No. And it happened so fast. Like we've all watched it back so many times now, but there, as it was happening in real time, you're like, did he tap out? And everybody's like asking each other, like, did he?
And there's
no
instant replay like it was.
No, and there was no big like screen. They weren't replaying it or anything like that. And then he gets up, and I remember him doing the WCW with his finger in the air, and you're like, oh, that's what this is.
That was just such an amazing time to be a fan. Like, remember when like Scott Hall and Kevin Nash showed up? It was so surreal.
No, it was definitely a good time, man.
It was just like that was just, because I was a huge Bret Hart fan too, but I was also a huge Shawn Michaels fan. So like, it was a tough time.
It was. Yeah. Well, we were talking last week. We had Paige McKenzie joining us from ACW. We were talking with her about some of the stuff that have happened this year, and especially your wedding, the stuff at the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame, stuff that we've been seeing ACW put out to where I don't know what's real anymore, right? Like, as a wrestling fan, I love it. Like, I don't know. It's not just your promo of Sunday, join us at the wrestling show. Like, there's things that are happening with ACW that you guys are doing and putting out there that it's a fun time to be a fan. Absolutely. And that's like those moments make me a fan. It's like the reality of it, right?
The thing is, like, it's new. ACW's new. Everyone's trying to get their name out there.
Yep.
And the way Center Slaughter is doing it is, I feel like it's the wrong way. But, like, we have to deal with that. And, like, it's just...
The problem is also, yes, it's cool because it's getting people to talk about ACW and that the people are very into the stories. But sometimes like stuff goes a little too far where it's not part of like what we're doing there. No. Like there's things that have happened just last week that happened on the show that we're like, that can't happen.
We get a fortunate.
That's not okay. And wrestlers got to keep themselves in check. The fans got to keep themselves in check.
And we're learning a lot because, we didn't know. We weren't really meant to prepare for things to happen, on the fly. That's not supposed to. Well, I'm not saying anything's supposed to happen.
You already mentioned it. Can you talk about anything about, for everybody that doesn't know, Machoverse, a fan, a really great fan, cosplayer, sitting ringside, Crowbar. Something happened ringside. Crowbar kind of put his hand on the fan, brought him over the railing, and I don't know if you guys if you can say anything about it, but that's kind of what they're.
Maybe another episode.
Yeah,
or not.
Yeah, I think we've probably said as much as we're allowed to say up until because there's lawyers involved in it, and kind of.
Well, it's just not talk about it.
No worries. I just want for everybody listening out there, what's going on.
It's part of that blurring the line thing where I think guys think that they can take it far,
sure,
and that it'll be good for business, and sometimes it's not necessarily great for business, and you can't have certain lines crossed. And there's a lot of what's going on right now. Guys are really testing the waters on what's the line.
Well, and
we're trying to find it too.
Yeah, and we've talked a lot about this. ACW. This is ACW.com. If you are unfamiliar with this incredible promotion, but I, as a fan, as somebody who's watched professional wrestling for going on 42 years of their life, I have
43.
Okay, all right. So
almost.
Almost. But when I think there's this idea, again, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but independent promotions aren't supposed to be doing what you all are doing. The production value of this I've went to now the MJN Center before it was the Mid-Hudson Civic Center. I've seen live pro wrestling there from WWE, from NXT, from TNA, from Global Force, from probably every kind of I missed ECW because I got up here too late, but however, you're doing things that rival those promotions, and I, as a fan, am just very appreciative of what I'm seeing. I'm super hyped. Poughkeepsie Rumble. I will be there this year for this one, or 2026 rather. But
he was sick last year.
Yes. Yeah. What?
I was sick too.
What are you all like? There's been the highest of highs, and there's been some lows. But what is keeping you motivated? What's the next big thing for ACW that you're looking forward to in 2026 and beyond?
It's soaring with the eagles and slithering with the snakes, right? Everywhere in between. That's kind of been the MO of what we've been having go on. And I think for the next year of this, we want to take it up another notch. And for everybody that's watching for the first time, you can go on Triller TV and check out Mischief Night from 2 weeks ago and see it for yourself. Our other shows are available on Triller Plus. And you can see what ACW is really all about. And the idea that we've had this entire time was to give everybody a reason to want to come back. And if a show is just a show and it's a one-off, then what incentive do you have to get emotionally involved in what you're seeing? And we're trying to do something with the MJN Center that nobody has ever tried to do before, and that is put wrestling in there multiple times a year.
Yeah.
So we not only, I think, in the next year want to continue our success with that building and having ACW be a staple in the Hudson Valley and really kind of make our name solidified and sell that building out on every show that we do, but I think we'd like to take ACW to even bigger heights. And we tested the waters a little bit with our show at Barton Orchards, and I think I'd like to see ACW go back there. And I think that there's another really cool place in the Hudson Valley where we could do ACW and make it be successful. And I think I'd like to see us get to that level and see success, not just in the MJN Center, but take it up just a little bit more to the next level too.
Also, like, you know, like I really want to focus on making the fans part of it. No, like get the fans like just part of the show. You know, like for example, if like the costume contest, you know, get the like trivia.
Yep.
So when people are standing in lines for autographs and the meet and greets, there's something else going on. It's not just bore fill. You know, it's just there's something going on at every second.
Boroville. It sounds like Florida. No, what's that movie though?
Yeah, but like, you know, it's got to try. We're trying to fill the gaps where other shows there's nothing going on. You know, and then or one of our focuses is our merch. We have replica titles for sale. No, what other independent place has replica titles for sale? We have different T-shirts. We have so many different things. If you know, that goes on. So we're trying to make it fun.
Meet and greets.
It's very fan forward. I will say that.
Forward,
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
and we're trying to just make it. You know, I'm like I always say this to everything I always say is I was huge.
Break the table there.
I was a really
fired
big
up.
ECW fan. I didn't interrupt you. So like, you know, the fans were made ECW, right? They did, right? And I want to make the MJN Center give the credit to the fans because there's so many different generations of fans.
No, yeah.
You know, so it's like it's just cool because like that they always talk about the Philly arena, right? They're the fans you gotta get the approval from the Philly fans. No, you don't. You gotta get the approval from the Poughkeepsie fans, the Hudson Valley fans, because they've been there since day one. Philly arena has not been.
Nope.
Okay?
Facts.
You look at the history, every generation of fan is in that building when we go. So like it's cool because we're putting pro wrestling back on the map where it belongs.
No, for sure. No, well, guys, January 3rd, man, Poughkeepsie Rumble, 20-man, 30-man. People are saying what's going on. We got coming off Mischief Night. We have Dante Casanova claiming the last spot of the Rumble. What's the best part for you guys for Rumbles? I mean, you as promoters, as fans growing up.
Dante at 30.
You know, what's your thought on the Rumble though, and just a Rumble in general? Like, what's your favorite part about
What's your
watching
favorite
Rumble?
part of a Rumble?
Me is always just seeing who's coming out next, right? You don't know if it's going to be a legend, if it's going to be a mystery person, if it's going to be anybody. You just don't know who it is, and that's what I like about Rumbles. I like that you don't know who it's going to be, kind of a thing, right?
Yeah.
You just never know
Yeah.
who you're going to see. That's my favorite part.
I like guessing on who's going to be the mystery.
Yeah,
Yes.
the mystery. I mean, man, the mystery guy.
And my offer still stands if you guys are looking for.
It's gone back and forth on the table.
Okay, all right. I'm just.
It's always
Just
the
saying.
best is like who drew number 1, who drew number 2,
Yeah, yeah.
who drew number 30, and if there's a chance, who's the mystery guys?
Yep.
Yep.
Those are like my favorite parts of Rumble.
I will say that, like, back in the era that we were watching, there were some times that we all hyped ourselves up for some big surprise, and it would be like when they were working with Smoky Mountain or like USWA, and like Doug Gilbert would walk out, and everyone's like, "Who's Doug Gilbert?" And like Mil Mascaras was in
95,
there.
95 Rumble, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Perro Aguayo makes his way to the
yes,
I
yeah.
must
Oh
say,
my God,
95
that's-
Rumble was the biggest disappointment as a kid. It, like I didn't like the 1 minute.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, it was 30 seconds.
30
It was
seconds,
30 seconds, and like, and the mystery guys were horrible.
Yeah.
As a kid, you go back and look as an adult, you're like, oh no way.
The SWAT
That's cool.
team was, yeah.
Yeah, but like, oh, it was hard. So like, you gotta have a little bit of a minute and a half, like they did in '94, a minute and a half. It's okay. 2 minutes is the best because it's long enough to really anticipate the next number. But 30 seconds.
And if it's 2 minutes, then the guy who's has the potential to be in there the longest could be setting a record.
That's true.
You know, because if it's only 30 seconds, if a guy goes from number 1 all the way, then he's only lasted about a half an hour.
Yeah.
But Rey Mysterio went 62 minutes.
Yep.
Is that still the record?
I think so. It's either. Yeah, I think
I don't know.
Google.
someone out
we'd
there
have to
will
look
tell
it
us.
up.
Gorilla Monsoon was always good about their records.
Yeah.
Yes.
I do like when they do the Royal Rumble by the numbers.
Yes.
That's a cool one.
Yeah.
At some point, we'll have enough lineage in ACW where we'll be able to do the by the numbers.
Yeah.
I like that video package.
Now it'll be by the number for this year, and then next year can be. But I do want to say that, I mean, you talked about it. Poughkeepsie Rumble, January 3rd. That would be enough on the card by itself. But we have multiple championship matches.
Yep.
I got to see current TNA champion Mike Santana going against what we saw the brand new ACW champion Matt Cardona.
Yep.
We saw Indy Hartwell, and potentially something's happening with Shotzi. Don't know what's going on there yet, but I mean, this is what I'm talking about. And again, I'm not on the payroll. I'm just saying that this is light years above. There's times that I would watch stuff from ACW and I would go back and be like, and no disrespect to any other major promotion, but I'm like, there's a lot more going on right in our backyard. So if you have not checked it out, this is acw.com. Great holiday gifts, I would assume.
Yeah.
If you're out there looking for
Imagine
me
getting tickets to a
again,
wrestling show and you're
that's-
stocking.
Yes.
You could even get it for Halloween. A nice trick or treat thing. Oh, I ran out of candy, but you got some ACW tickets.
Oh,
That could
imagine
be-
what would you do?
Then Black Friday, for Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving, everybody gets a ticket at their plate. on
Last
top of the
year, you were
turkey.
supposed to get me tickets for my birthday in December, and so I'm going to hold you to it this year. But
I might know a guy. We'll probably get you tickets
Okay,
this year.
all right.
We'll get you
Wait,
somehow.
you want to hear something cool? A fan said to me, they go to the ticket window still. They go to the actual ticket window to get there because they go there not just to skip the fees, but they go there to get the actual ticket.
That's what I missed. I missed that. Once they started sending it to the phones and papers
I
and
didn't even think
printouts,
of
I'm
that.
like,
I didn't even think of that. I go to get the ticket.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
cool.
yeah, absolutely.
Like tickets to people that collect them.
Yeah, and that's one of the biggest things. I think living in our area, what people don't understand is that, yes, we're streaming live in Beacon, New York right now, but our whole area from Beacon to Poughkeepsie, Fishkill, Wappingers, whatnot, you can just go up to the arena and get the tickets. Like, you don't have to just get it on your phone, save some money. You don't have to pay the fees and go right up the street. It's a 5-minute or whatever. And
Old school.
yeah, go get the ticket, man. That's what I miss. I love actually having the physical
Old
tickets.
school
so.
still now.
No, that's it, man. No, but guys, any last words? Where can the fans follow you, man? Thanks for coming out tonight in this little Halloween episode. I know where we got Orange Cassidy over here. I did a little bit of Macho and some Brett, but nothing crazy tonight. But the Now, man, where can they follow you? What's going on? Any last words?
You can follow us. First of all, this is acw.com for all of the awesome championship wrestling news and information. On Facebook, we have both of our first names as our Facebook profile, Vic Hale. You can also follow us on the Twitter machine, X. I'm under the Now Vic. He is under Hale Collins. And on Instagram, Vic Dalishus and Hale.Collins.
Yes.
Yeah, on Instagram.
He's so good at plugging this stuff.
Yeah. So
I'm like Garth. With the camera. I'm like,
interact with us on there. You can also check out the Awesome Championship Wrestling YouTube channel. And there's pretty much the entire last year of stories and packages and highlight videos of everything that's gone on with Awesome Championship Wrestling right there on the YouTube channel. So make sure you like and subscribe right there. And I don't know what is to happen for these beautiful tag team championships in January, but when something is announced, we'll have to come back and talk about it.
Okay, so thank you so much.
great.
We are on the road.
beautiful studio, by the way.
No, hey, Beacon Podcasting, guys. BeaconPodcasting.com. Check us out. We're on the road to the Poughkeepsie Rumble. We'll see you soon, but we're almost there, guys. Get ready for the Rumble,
These
all right?
look really good with me.
That's it, man. This is ACW.com. Check it out.